Hi, my name is Ally DeBrosse, and today I'm going to be exploring the topic of heroism. To begin, we need to ask ourselves two questions. What makes someone a hero? Now, I know there may be many different answers or points of views on this question, but today we're going to explore a man named Philip Zimbardo. In one of his TED Talks, he explains that being a hero means taking a risk for the common good while others remain passive. Zimbardo dives deeper into this topic by explaining that taking a risk doesn't necessarily mean expecting a reward.
Heroism is about one thing. It's about a concern for other people in need, a concern for defending a moral cause, knowing there is a personal cost or risk. That's the key. And you do it without expectation of reward.
He also talks about how being passive is just as bad as partaking in the evil. He quotes Martin Luther King Jr. saying, "Passively accepting an unjust system is basically cooperating with it." One of my personal heroes, Bryan Stevenson, also came to this conclusion.
Bryan Stevenson is a well-known lawyer who has dedicated his career to the poor, incarcerated, and condemned.
Similarly to Zimbardo, Stevenson believes that
the opposite of poverty isn't wealth, it's justice.
In one of Zimbardo's TED Talks, he shows this video of Obama talking about how we need to make sure that
we are pushing a little bit in the direction of justice and in the direction of equality and the direction of tolerance. And, you know, we never know sort of how our actions are going to ripple over time.
This ripple effect can be seen in many different heroes. One of my favorite examples of this is with a man named Rev Everett Swanson.
His story began when he flew from Chicago to South Korea to minister to American troops fighting in the Korean War. One morning, he saw city workers scooping up what looked like piles of rags and toss them into the back of a truck. He got a closer look and was horrified to see that the piles were the frozen bodies of orphans. He then began including his experience in Korea into his revival meetings, and Christians donated funds to purchase rice for the children. Soon after, he developed special sponsorship programs for people to help support orphans for a few dollars a month. Today, Compassion is a global ministry that serves more than 2.2 million babies, children, and young adults by partnering with more than 8,500 churches in 29 countries to help end poverty.
Now today we've talked about some great examples of heroes and some good qualities of them, but now it's time to ask ourselves, how can I become one? When I was a kid, my parents decided that they wanted to raise me in a way that emphasizes the importance of having a purpose. At first, I didn't understand why having a purpose was so important. But then I watched this video.
Let me get a couple bars of like Amazing Grace. Can you do the first part of that? Go ahead. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. All right. Now, once you give me the version, is if your uncle just got out of jail, you got shot in the back when you was a kid. I'm just saying, let me see the hood version real quick, if you know which version I'm talking about. Just see if that exists. Let me see what you got. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. But now, right now I'm found, was blind, but now I see. So here's the thing. The first time I asked him to sing, he knew what he was doing. The second time I asked him to sing, he knew why he was doing it. When you know your why, your what has more impact because you're walking in or towards your purpose.
Hearing about Compassion really tugged on my heartstrings, and I decided that I wanted to sponsor a child. My sponsor's name is Angie, and her and I have been pen pals for, I think, 12 years now.
Here's an example of one of the notes Angie has written for me. She writes it herself on the back, and then it gets translated onto the front.
My part in this sponsorship is actually super easy. I really didn't think it was making that big of an impact. One week, some family friends of ours were going to travel to Nicaragua and be around their areas. So we went to the store and bought some backpacks and filled them up with lots of school supplies and toys for the kids. Our family friends delivered them and took a video of their reactions.
Gracias por estos regalos que me han mandado.
Thank you for the gift that you sent
Que
me.
Dios derrame bendiciones sobre tu familia.
May God pour many blessings in your family.
Gracias por ser mi compañera.
Thank you
y
for
una
being
gran
my
amiga
sponsor
para
and a
mí.
friend for me.
Que el Señor te bendiga.
May God bless you.
Y a toda tu familia.
May God bless you and your family.
Y que el Señor derrame muchas bendiciones sobre tu familia.
And may God pour many blessings in your
Te
family.
quiero mucho.
I love you very much.
Que pase una feliz Navidad.
Have a Merry Christmas.
Con toda tu familia.
Have a Merry
Llena de
Christmas with your
salud.
family. And
Llena de salud.
full of health.
Gracias.
Thank you.
As a result of that trip, Crossroads Church extended an invitation to the entire congregation to sponsor children in Nicaragua through Compassion International. Our story and a video clip of Daenerys opening her gifts from us were shared, and in one weekend, 6,000 children were sponsored and 6,000 new relationships began. In all, being a hero means having the purpose of helping others and being a blessing to those around you.